Hey friends, welcome to another session of English literature. So friends, today's topic of discussion is Charles Dickens' famous novel A Tale of Two Cities. So in this session, I'm going to discuss various questions from A Tale of Two Cities, like A Tale of Two Cities as a historical novel or A Tale of Two Cities as a novel on the French Revolution, and whether A Tale of Two Cities is a novel of hatred, of vengeance, or a novel of love. And in this video only, you will get to know about the character list of A Tale of Two Cities. So watch the video till the end. Here we go. So our first topic is A Tale of Two Cities is a historical novel or not. So in Charles Dickens' prolific authorship, there is found only one historical novel, which is A Tale of Two Cities. So the historical novel treats historical incidents, we all know that, as well as historical characters, but at the same time it contains good deal of fictional romance. But A Tale of Two Cities is to be evaluated not as a pure history but as a work of literary art based on history. So our next point is A Tale of Two Cities is a novel on French Revolution. Okay, so before discussing this, we have to know briefly what is French Revolution. So the French Revolution started in 1789 and lasts till 1799. It means it lasts 10 years or 10 and a half years. Okay, so actually French Revolution was a period of time in France when people overthrew the monarchy and took control of the government. So this is the idea of French Revolution. Now we have to know that why A Tale of Two Cities is a novel on French Revolution. The background or the main subject of the novel is the French Revolution, and in this Dickens was inspired by Thomas Carlyle's book The French Revolution. So Dickens doesn't look at the revolution with romantic haze because he was a warm supporter of the poor and a draughty champion of downtrodden humanity. And in A Tale of Two Cities, Dickens brings out the gruesome evils of the revolution. G.K. Chesterton in this context remarked that the French Revolution compels Dickens to acquire a theory on history, however primitive. Crush humanity out of shape once more under similar hammers, and it will twist itself into the some tortured forms. The revolutionaries return evil for evil. The guillotine is the product not of innate depravity but of intolerable oppression. So Dickens wants to make the novel a tragedy of vengeance through love and ultimately triumphs over it. So in this novel, Dickens doesn't portray the entire drama of the revolution, but he has focused on few causes and effects of the revolution, the reign of terror, and a group of private individuals who were influenced by the turn of events against their will. So Dickens has highlighted scattered accounts of the revolution, like the raising dissatisfaction of the people and the public wrath, mass murders by the revolutionaries, etc. So he vividly presents the dreadful and Russian pageant of the revolution, its horror and exultation. And it is also important that why A Tale of Two Cities is called A Tale of Two Cities, right? So being a tale of England and France, this novel is called A Tale of Two Cities, and this novel is an artistic portrayal of the social and political background of London and Paris. So now let's jump into the next section of this session, which is whether A Tale of Two Cities is a novel of hatred, of vengeance, or a novel of love. So before starting that, we have to know the character list of Tale of Two Cities. So the important character of this novel is Sidney Carton. He was a London lawyer who had great potential but has fallen into a life of alcoholism and vice. Now the next one is Roger Clay. He is a British spy whose only motive is patriotism. And the next one is Jerry Cruncher. He is a man who works at Tellson's bank, whose side job was digging up dead bodies and selling their parts to scientists. So now the next character is Monsieur Ernest Defarge. So he was the former servant of Dr. Manette and in current is a revolutionary who assumes the name of Jacques Four. So there are also four characters whose names are Jacques 1, Jacques 2, Jacques 3 and Jacques 5. So Jacques 4 is Monsieur Ernest Defarge. So this question is quite important for any viva. So now the next character is Madame Thérèse Defarge. So she was Monsieur Defarge's ruthless wife and the ringleader of the Saint Anthony female revolutionaries. She constantly needs a register of those who deserve to die at the hands of the revolution. Now the next one is Monsieur Théophile Gabelle. So he was a French postmaster. Now we have next character Gaspard. So he is a resident of Saint Anthony who is executed for the murder of Monsignor. So now the next one is Jacques 1, Jacques 2 and Jacques 3. So they are the French revolutionaries associated with Defarge. And the next one is Jacques Five. He is another associate of Defarge. He means rose. Now the next one is Dr. Alexander Manet. So he is a Parisian doctor who was imprisoned in the Bastille for 18 years and father of Lucy Manet. Okay. So Dr. Alexander Manet is the father of Lucy Manet. So the next character is Lucy Manet. So Lucy Manet is Dr. Manet's daughter. And then the next is Lucy Manet's loyal red-faced maid whose name is Miss Pross. Now we have Jarvis Lorry. He is a gentleman and clerk at Tellson's Bank and an old friend of Dr. Manet. And the next one is Solomon Pross aka John Bursad. He is a spy and informer and brother of Miss Pross. The next one is Monsignor aka Marquis Evamont. So he is a proud and a brutal French aristocrat who shows no regard for the lower classes. So now we have our next character, Charles Darnay or Charles Saint Evamont. So he is a French immigrant to England. Now we have Mr. Stryver. So he is an ambitious London lawyer with a large ego. He is an old friend of Sidney Carton's who informally pays him to assist him. So now we have Tom. So Tom is the coachman of Dovermail Coach. So now we have Mrs. Cruncher. She is the wife of Jerry Cruncher. She is a religious woman whose husband accuses her for praying against him. Now we have Marquis Saint Evamont, wife of Monsieur's twin brother and mother of Charles Darnay. Now we have Lucy Saint Evamont, young daughter of Charles Darnay and Lucy Manet. And the next one is the Vengeance, a nickname for a friend of Madame Defarge, who is a leading revolutionary in Saint Anthony. So these are the names of the characters in Charles Dickens's novel A Tale of Two Cities. So now we have to know that whether A Tale of Two Cities is a novel of hatred or vengeance or a novel of love. So as the novel throws light not only on the problems of exploitation and injustice in society, but also on the facts of how the aristocrats use the common classes as the vehicle of their entertainment and exploit them for the sake of their individual pleasure. Dickens in this novel shows about a boy and girl who were victims of Evamont brothers and they had to give up their lives. There is an extreme display of lovelessness and of excessive passion. Dr. Manet helps them and tries to inform the government officials about this exploitation, but in return he was captured and imprisoned for 18 years. Apart from this, Evamont brothers also crushes a child of a poor man and shows no sympathy over his death. So the injustice and hatred shows also on the part of the revolutionaries who were like demons and have no contact with humanity, as Dickens described them as false eyebrows and false moustaches were struck upon them, and their hideous countenances were all bloody and sweaty, and all away with howling, and all staring and glancing with beastly excitement and want to sleep. So amid the agony of hatred, the dull tone of love offers the rainbow of hope in this novel. Dickens becomes highly appreciative of potency of love to an over-crippling impact of hatred. Dickens believed that love is the counterpart to social evil. August Wilson in this context remarks that even more vital to Dickens was the idea that of pure love as the means of redemption of will and sinful men. So in this novel, Lucy's love for her father's love for her, Laurie's love for Miss Manet, Sidney Carton's love for Lucy, Miss Pross's love for Lucy are all forms of pure love. Thus, the love of all the characters where love begets love is contrasted against the hatred of the Defarge and revolutionaries, where violence begets violence, evil begets evil. Even Sidney's ultimate sacrifice of his love for love cries out the ultimate message that love triumphs over hatred and death, while love resurrects and gives life, hatred destroys. So thus, in A Tale of Two Cities, Dickens has painted the war history with the lines of blood, but hatred fails over the blind shafts of love. Love achieves triumph by drawing the fire of vengeance striking at the human endeavors. In the wars of K.J. Fielding, love standing for all the forces of life, lusting powers and goodness is shown to be as strange and wonderful as against the steps which lead Madame Defarge to her fate. Thus, Dickens gives a twist to history to assert the supremacy of love over hatred. Thus, A Tale of Two Cities is not a tragedy of vengeance, but it is about love, which ultimately triumphs over vengeance and hatred. So friends, this was the main crux or the main subject matter of A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. So thank you so much friends for watching this video, and if you did find it helpful and relevant, then please like this video, share this video and comment on this video, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So bye bye for now, see you in the next session very soon.